Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 31st of March, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS, ECM ensembles and paper and weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for April, and I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first. Video series are 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released GWV for you. Check out those two vids if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, going to start off with the latest wind from that from earthandallschool.net. So, we've got low pressure to the west of the Bay of Biscay. We've got high pressure to our northeast, and we're drawing up a southerly southeasterly flow. It's quite warm, but a lot more in the way of clouds today, and we are actually going to get some wet weather pushing across many parts of the country through this afternoon, this evening, and particularly overnight. So turning more unsettled as we move into the weekend. Central England temperature is on the up. It's currently sitting at 6.8. That's 1.1 degree above 61 to 99 average. So sorry, everyone. So sorry, everyone. And it's provisional to still got that frog in my throat from my tiny hole. No, that's provisional to yesterday, to the 20th of March. Beads of a GFS, upper air temperature, and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, we're rugby today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for rugby. We're starting off above average. The upper air temperature at the moment, they're going to come down, though, as we move through the course of next week in particular. A bit of a cooler spell opening up, but not particularly cold, just reverting to a little bit below average. And precipitation-wise, we're going to be some wet weather to come over the weekend, then dry into next week before turning more unsettled again later on next week, and looking rather unsettled through the end of March and into the beginning of April. Temperature anomalies for the next 5 days are coming out above average. 6 to 10 day temperature anomaly is near normal, and the 10 to 14 day temperature anomaly is also not too far from average. So again, the warmest weather is like in the immediate days. Next 5 days, remember, is a little bit of a cooling trend there. Precipitation anomaly for the next 7 days, getting us to the 28th of March, is coming out about average, a little bit on the drier side in a few places, and the 8 to 14 day precipitation anomaly, again largely on the slightly drier than average side. So despite the ensemble graph there looking a bit unsettled, it's not going to be overly wet really. Right, let's go through chart data then. Let's have the latest UK Met Euro runs looking midnight on Monday. Low pressure slipping away to the south, a ridge building to the north and the west. And then we're going to find high pressure pushing in from off the Atlantic through to the middle part of next week with a lot of dry weather to come. Later next week, it starts to turn a bit more unsettled out to the north and west as low pressure starts edging back in from off the Atlantic. That gets us to midnight next Friday, 28th of March. But most of next week, you'll notice, is looking largely dry again under that ridge. Icon, once more, looking relatively dry through the middle part of next week with a ridge of high pressure. That gets flattened off through to the second half of next week as we go into a westerly type flow. That gets us to 28th of March. Low pressure north, high pressure to the south. Winds coming in from a flat westerly direction. Could be a little bit showery by the end of next week. KMA, all much of muchness with high pressure ridging up from the Atlantic through much of next week. Late next week turns a bit more unsettled, not until month's end, but it turns properly unsettled. Quite a deep area of low pressure by the 31st of March, day 10, bringing wet and windy weather. March out like a lion, if that's right. But do we believe it? I wonder. We're eventually going to like a southwesterly type flow by the 2nd of March there. And then the GFS midnight run, again under the ridge of high pressure throughout most of next week before it starts to turn more unsettled by the last weekend of March. That's Sunday the 30th, looking wet and windy there. Quite a deep area of low pressure push through the country. Another low moving through around the turn of the month as well. Then we go back to a ridge row in the very extended. We're back to higher pressure with a Scandinavian high this time, and winds trying to get in from the east. So an unsettled or very unsettled end to March, beginning April, but not for long. High pressure back in again later on through the first week of the month. And the GFS 6 then, again with that ridge from the southwest to the northeast, bringing lots of dry weather in with it. Sorry once more, everyone. Then by the end of next week, we're back into low pressure, looking very cyclonic by the last weekend of March. It's quite a deep area of low pressure, and the low pressure keep on coming actually with the GFS 6. Although with winds in from south very much, you'll notice absolutely no sign here being the model output we've seen so far of any tropospheric response to the strat warm. So there's no sign of any northern blocking or cooler or colder conditions. It looks like we're just going to be, oscillating between higher pressure and lower pressure and unsettled around the turn of the month, really. But there's no sign of any particular response to the strat warm, definitely at this stage anyway. Just say back to if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and show everyone for dear Matt. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to friends back, GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe to you, and we thank everyone for dear Matt. We need to put on around 95 subscribers to get 19.7k, so if you could give us stuff, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And just to say again about the GavsWeatherVids PayPal page, so if you enjoy the content on the channel at the moment, you can afford to do so, please can you consider giving a donation to GavsWeatherVids via our PayPal page. The link is in the description with the video. It's down there. Just down there. Click through the link, go to PayPal page, find your PayPal account, and then give whatever donation you would like to. GavsWeatherVids will shout you out in the bids, and you'll be able to pay for the videos, the content, and everything that we're doing here on the channel. So thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, let's crack on. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for all of the support over all of these years. Right, GM, again, with low pressure moving away into the continent on Monday. And we've got heights building from the west and from the southwest through the middle part of next week. So a lot of dry weather to come next week. Later on, turns more unsettled and a bit colder here. I'll take towards day 9, 10, this low pressure pushing southwards. So we get a mid-Atlantic ridge going north. Low pressure pushes south. We'll switch wind around to more of a north or northeasterly direction. Becoming colder then with the GM around day 9 and 10. That does look rather isolated though compared to all of the other bottle output. However, we're not seeing the ECM yet, so let's check that one out. Once again, high pressure reaching in behind the trough on Monday, bringing quite a lot of dry weather. Then into the middle part of next week, again, lots of dry conditions to come before lower pressure starts heading in from off the Atlantic at the end of next week into the final weekend of March. Pretty deep low pressure, bringing unsettled conditions. That's day 10 with high pressure south, low pressure to the north, and we're bringing in a flat westerly flow. Unsettled 1st of April. April Fools looking rather mixed there. But again, it's all very westerly, all very Atlantic driven here. Low pressure south, high pressure to the north. So, I mean, probably sort of average type temperatures and a bit on the mixed side, driest weather down in the south. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So this with showery rain pushing across the country through the course of this weekend. All of that will get out of the way though next week as we go dry. And most of next week looking relatively dry for the south. We'll be showering in the north. By the end of next week, into the last weekend of March, begins to turn much more unsettled with low pressure driving in from off. Now that's day 10, showering in the north, mostly dry though down in the south. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 31st of March. 15 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the west, and we bring the wind around that that from like northwest direction. So mostly dry, but a little bit on the cool side, maybe. Day 10. There, 14 with high pressure again away to the northwest, low pressure to the southeast. That brings the wind in. Northeast direction, we've got 12 with above average heights, high pressure to the north, and Scandinavia winds in from the east, and then we've got 10 with low pressure to the north, Scotland, high pressure to the southwest, and that brings the wind in from a westerly direction then. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we got. Gets us to the 5th of April. 20 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure between Norway and Iceland. Winds coming in from the east of that. So proper Scandinavian high easterly winds. This is into April. Not normally all that cold though. So I don't think it'll be especially cold. Maybe a bit of a chilly feel, but you know, nothing overly cold. Not like if it was if it was the 5th of January, definitely. We got 16 with low pressure over to south of the country, so that's looking rather unsettled. And then we've got another 15 with high pressure to the south-southwest, low pressure to the north, and winds are coming in from a flat westerly direction. With that, so mostly dry and mild with that. CFS V2 finally for April looks like this 700 millibar height anomaly. Remember these change daily though. So today's latest idea is a mid-Atlantic ridge up to Greenland, low pressure to the south, and winds coming in from a northeasterly direction. Temperature anomalies in April, no better than average really, and there's no signal for precipitation. So that could in the end finish up with some northern blocking and a tropospheric spots strap warm. But of course, it's only one run, today's run of the CFS monthly, and we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Of course we will. We'll keep you updated. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, subscribe. Make sure to everyone for dear Matt. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all my videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe to. Make sure to everyone for dear Matt. As I said, about 95 subscribers will get us to 19.7k. So if you could give us stuff, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And again, you know, just consider making a little donation to GavsWeatherVids. That'd be fantastic if you could do that as well. It's helping us pay for channel and the content at what is a very quiet time overall. Not just for us, but for all weather channels. So interest does drop away a lot through the spring. So we're going through the quieter period now. Things will pick up when we get into the summer, especially when we get the Glasgow updates going in June. But got a couple of months to go before that. So for now, it's very quiet, not getting much revenue from the advertisements and whatnot. But we have got our amazing channel members. Thank you so much to our lovely channel members. And of course, we've got our amazing PayPal donators as well. So if you want to give a donation, you know how to do it, and you get a shout out in the vids too. Right, okay, well, we're done. Just check us out on the channel tomorrow. Go 6 a.m. UK weather forecast, the ECM WF 42 day UK and Ireland weekend forecast, and a 10 to 14 day. And then on Sunday, again, 6 a.m. UK weather forecast, we'll have the next summer update. I think that's update number 3 for summer 2025. And we'll be live at 6 p.m. on Sunday evening with your 10 to 14 day. And I'm sure we'll include a little bit of long range in that. Why not? So that's all to come over the weekend. We'll see you then. But for this one, that's all for now. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And thanks for watching.